Ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, as you can tell from the thumbnail, your fearless leader is tuning in from the depths today, from the bottom of the seven seas, down $3,000. Relentless, how did it happen? And how come you're in such a funk in the last 3 days? In pretty decent market conditions. Pastor, what's going on? And how can you get yourself going? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this day. And before we really jump into it, we're going to address all the questions that we'll get here, style, strategy, all that good stuff. We're going to get into it. But before we do, remember the risk, guys. Remember that day trading is risky business. Today is a good example of that. I know at times it can seem easy. You blink twice, look back. Myself, Marcelo, Tim, Triad, $10,000 day, right? That's not the typical experience for every trader. We've been trading for months, years, right? Years, really years, to be able to, get to this level and put out this amount of risk. So understand that wherever you are, you're in your own journey, your own spectrum, your own track. All right. Never compare yourself to someone else in that negative way. So take it slow, utilize the simulators out there, use risk money, and ensure that your tuition to the market is low as you become experienced and competent. All right. Secondly, remember to never copy trade. Copy trading is a recipe to take your account down to zero. All right. Other than that, remember, I do not invest in my subscribers, so be careful with fake accounts. I will never message you first. All right. Stay safe on that front, and let's talk about this day. So we traded a total of 5 stocks. Green on one, $84. Green on the other four. Red 1300 NUVO. Red 936 TCBP. Red 671 XBP. Let's start off with XBP and make our way down the list. We can look through a little bit of archive as we go, just for reference. But yeah, XBP. Let's start with this one. So originally, this thing started off from lows around 240, and it made its way up pretty nicely. Coming into the open, we were pulling back slightly, and we were watching this range to see if we could curl back to the upside. And, high of 469, we pulled back. And looking back at this charting, I think I know where my mistake really was and how I could have done better. So I had support clocking in at 410 area. Now we opened at 33, we pulled back, we went all the way down to lows around 75. It does curl back up here and gets up to 419. Now originally, I really wanted to see us hold above 10 and consolidate and then push for a higher move up, right? Getting back up there closer to the pre-market highs. But instead of continuing, we started to pull back, and we pulled back down to the VWAP area of 4. Now, at the time, I thought we might have been able to hold up this level, being that it was the high point of the bear flag right here, right in this zone. This was the high point of the bear flag, and I assumed we would have been able to hold up. But when you really zoom out and you look at the overall context, I think I should not have been taking this trade considering where we were. And these are the small details that can really help you to avoid losses, right? Really like dissecting what I did and what I could have done differently. If this was to consolidate in this area above 409, like right here, this is where I could have been in, stop down at 4 or tighter stop and looking for the move up. Right here we weren't as let's say the level was not as legitimate, as this pre-market level, because we held up here through and through all the way up until the open. So I think that's one thing I could have done differently. And I also took some size here. I took some size, at 940. If we come over to the log, I took about 5,000 shares here, and perhaps it was a little unwarranted. And that's what's really gonna get me. If we come to 40 right here, XBP, at 4, I buy the initial entry, then I'm in at 90. I try for 95 and 94. I got some higher fills, 97, 90, 98. And ultimately I look back at my average and I'm like, hey, my average is at 99, and this thing made a low of about 90. And I started thinking maybe I need to cut some of this to bail out. And in that very moment, really, it started coming down, maybe I could have been out a little quicker, but 86 exit, 88, 87 exit. It's not a super awful trade by any means, but I think I could have went a little easier with the sizing. I think that was the number one thing there. So that was XBP. I believe I might have been small green, and then that loss just wiped me out down to 670. First hiccup on the day. Now me being down 670, in my mind I'm like, yeah, whatever, scratch trade, time to move on, upwards and onwards. And then I believe TCBP might have been the next stock. Yep, yes it was. And we got involved around 947, around 281. I believe it was halted at the time. TCBP. Oh, my E-Trade is just timed out. Yeah, so TCBP, let's move forward here. So I believe this one was halted up at the time. I would really like my E-Trade. It shows the halt levels a little bit better, a little bit clearer. But this thing, let's see, 47, and maybe, actually no, I don't believe we were halted here. I might be mistaken. Yeah, actually we were not. So opportunity is gonna cost because I'm watching the other stock. And another thing is that my screen up above, I only have room for 3. And sometimes I'll be watching the same stock twice on 2 different order entries. But most of the times I'm watching at 3 stocks. And so TCBP was not up here on the list, and it was moving in the background when I did my rotation after XBP sold off. That's where I finally noticed it, and it was already at 47, because we did see about just a minute before, a minute discrepancy there in between the last stock and this stock. But at that time, you can see, we already gave a nice move. I mean, even if we come back from down here, highs or at $2. Initial rejection, breakdown and reclaim of 77, which was the low of this area. And really and truly, this was much more clean than XBP. Because remember, XBP pulled back below the level by a few candles, by a few, few cents, and had a few candles before curling back up. This in itself is not awful, right? This is not awful if I can really get in here early and capture the move through the level. But in terms of the quicker hyper scalping trades, TCBP is going to provide a better opportunity in this aspect. That once we came below this level, it was an immediate move back up. And from there, the 1 minute candle made the new high. And then it continued from 92 up to $2. Small pullback. Looked like it might have been double topping for a sec. And then ripped to 08. From 08, we dipped down to 97. And then ripped up to 228. So, all of this is good movements. I'm not exactly sure of the price action, as I wasn't watching it exactly, but it seemed pretty fair. And then we consolidate around the VWAP level, and low of the range, high of the range, 233, 211. We pulled back here, double bottoming at 11. Just, absolutely beautiful. And then this rips higher over 33. So me coming at 47 is just way too late. And it looks like there was a halt in here, actually. There was a halt. The time, it does not align. You can see on the 1 minute chart, we go from 42 to 47. So there was a halt resumption there. And, looking at this from this point, it's like I essentially missed the front side. This is when I arrive, and this is what happens next. And so I completely get obliterated. Instead of to show trades, let's actually come back to the log. So just poor timing here showing up. Sometimes it's better late than never, but and I started off with two decent trades. in at 81, out at 87, in at 89, out at 93. And now it was time for break of the whole dollar. I size up, nothing happens. I kept it tight. It dipped down, and I was a little too aggressive buying the dip early. And this is where I'm going to start to get caught on the move down. So in at 89, in at 87, 88, out at 80. Just, I think a trade like this, I'm being just a little too aggressive. And on the move down, we initially come down to about 89, and then there's another drop. So instead of instead of getting that exit, let's say 85, 86, because there's another quick drop, losing a lot of sense, a lot more than I would want to, right? We did end up getting a decent bounce because, again, and this was a good job of me here, selling this trade for a quick loss and buying back the actual dip, which is something I'm trying to work on. So I'm very glad I was able to, keep the composure there, get back in, and look for the bigger move. So we tried at 80 area, not quite, and then low 70s, we got obliterated. We really, I think I really needed to ease off a little sooner, right? Because ultimately, if the 1 minute pullback is not holding up, then okay, I can look for the 5 minute setup, right? And this is how I can save myself. A lot of this stuff, I can save myself if I'm not being overly aggressive. Okay, stock was moving up. We got halted up. It is an extended move from 233. We got all the way up to $3. In fact, after this resumption, after the quick dip and rip, you'd expect a pullback, right? And we have to understand from 33 all the way to 3 is 77 cents. If this thing pulls back 40, 50 cents, that's fine. It makes perfect sense, actually, right? That it could. And so from 3, I'm being a little over, like the entry 87, for example, I think was my first mistake of the day. Like assuming that this would just hold 87 and get right back through the highs is just too aggressive. I need to wait for a little more confirmation. Even if it does hold 87, hey, give it a sec to make sure it's bouncing and take 93, 94, which is actually a safer entry because we're trending back up for that retest of the level, rather than being super aggressive to buy the dip, and the dip is not even started yet. It's only beginning. We did catch a bounce at 72, and this is a little bit more reasonable, to be honest, versus 88 from 3. But even here, a little high, and once we curled back up, it was a quick move. I think that did play a little bit of a role of convincing me that it was going to hold up, and so I tried 70 again. I think this is a better trade than the trades at mid 80. Okay, if those are tight stop trades, okay, cool. But I got to be very careful of it coming down. I think the trade here again at 70 is a reasonable trade to see if we're gonna get a 1 minute pullback. But so far, the one mistake was this trade here at 87, right? This is a real mistake, I'd say, because if it is a 1 minute pullback and we're gonna start to hold up this level, then perhaps we can see a consolidation here and then another move up. This is for the 1 minute pullback. Okay, if this doesn't work, I can then watch the 5 minute candlestick to see how we're doing. And at this time, it's at 48. This candlestick is about to close. It's red, and it's almost high of day volume at the time. This should have already told me, hey, it might be backside, and to be very careful. And it came down to what was that, 42? I think I bought back 50. Where did I get in? 57. Initially, we flushed down a little bit. It went down to 57. And it just was not a great trade. Or let's say, yeah, 57. This right here I bought for 57. Got the higher fill. Out at 52. Try it again. I think I might have been green unrealized in this trade. And thought 52 was holding. Stopped out at 42, which happened to be the exact bottom. So I'm in on this candle here. And, I think some of these trades I could avoid, really. In at this bottom and stopping out at the very low of this candle. 42 bounced up aggressively to 62. So it's a 20-cent bounce, and then it gave out. And after this 20-cent bounce, I was at my wit's end. And then after this 20-cent bounce, I thought maybe there was a chance. And I bought back 42, and it was already the backside, stopped out at 35. And that's where this one kind of ended. I think what I could have done differently here too was to size down a little more, a little sooner, especially, on the backside. Like on the way, let's say on the way down. So on the way up for my base scalp size, I'm doing 2200, 6000 max size. On the way down, 1500. It looks like I did come down to 17. Well, yeah. Well, no. Did I? Yeah, it looks like I came down to 17 and then 12, which was good. But I think we could have done this a little bit sooner into the move down, because it really started after my first like 3 trade. Like my first few winning trades were during the uptrend. My winning trades were during the uptrend on the resumption, counting in this last green candle. Most of my losing trades, I literally catch the one trade at 72. The trade at 87 was a mistake. So I'm in, you know, let's say we're one for what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm like 1 for 5, which is just atrocious. And this will definitely get me red $900. 2,000 shares, 10 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents, 200, 200, $200. I'm not going to stand a chance. So I got to do a better job zooming out and looking at my 5-minute chart as well, especially when we start to pull back. Then NUVO. I think this is the most disappointing one of them all. NUVO, I tell you, brother, taking me to the bottom. But don't worry, I'll rise back up like a phoenix. So NUVO. Where did we start to trade this one? Actually, let's just check the timestamp right here. We got involved at 9:59. 9:59 at 4:69. So that was pretty early in the move, all things considered. Let's see. That'll be this 5-minute count. So we were here very early. I mean, just disappointing to really end red on a stock like this, man. Let's see. So we were around. We had a high of 494. I don't know if I came on a dip or on the ascension up. Let's see. Oh, it looks like I came as it was a little lower and missed the move up. Time difference, about 30 seconds difference here. I attempted the break of 5, and it wasn't quite ready. And you can see I did start off with some smaller size here, which I do like. Didn't just immediately try to size up. And this trade here again is the same trade from the last stock, where if we make a move like this from 60 to 90, I got to be careful of that dip, man. And I think I'm giving it a shot to see if we have that strength to just keep going right over the whole dollar. But gotta be mindful of the pullbacks, man. Gotta not be overly aggressive, I think. So we dipped down, and we dipped down from 496 to 395, and this right here is a pretty solid dip, man. This is where I definitely sometimes get thrown out of whack, and I looked away for SGE at the time, which was curling up. So this will be around 10 a.m. SGE, pushing up, dips, rips, gets halted higher. We did take a few trades there, but did not get to see the follow through. In at 56, out at 45, in at 72, out at 79, in at 84, out at 97. Okay, we caught it one. So I think this was right before it got halted. The halt might have came a little into that candlestick. So we caught one good trade there towards the end. A really solid trade. 72 to 79, not bad. But a little bit more size from 84 to 97. Maybe 85 really to 97. And I think it was halted from there. But then afterwards is where we had the lower resumption. So coming around, this is 10:02. We switch back to NUVO as this one gets halted. As you can see, there's a lot of movements, man. A lot of movements. So we didn't really miss a ton on this one. 02, high of 45. You know, low of the consolidation, high of the consolidation. Can we break the high of the consolidation and get a move up over 45? And this dip is kind of difficult because, you know, a dollar share pullback, you're kind of not really sure if we're going to hold up. But this is clean. I mean, over 45, there's no reason why it should not have been in at 03 at 45. Let's see what happened here. In at 04, and this is a good trade. I think, oh, and I only got a, so this was this, so I did try, I think I tried, it bounced up to like 20 and then dipped back down to 4 on this green candle, or close to $4. And I bought the bids, and I'm very sad to only get a partial fill, because this would have been one of my better trades of the day. And I would have scaled out of it the same exact way, 1,000 shares, selling half, selling quarter. But just disappointing to not get the fill. And I attempted the breakout, so this is good. Okay, this is good. We did get the breakout in at 47, out at 73, very good. In at 72, out at 85. And this is such a poor fill. Out at 85, 84, 79, I mean 85. I mean, look at this. Look at the madness. Why is shares filling at 75, 74, man? Come on. I mean, it just goes to show you the craziness. And so I'm watching aggressively here for break of 5. And I'm in at 85. So I did and you know, this is the thing with trading that's so tricky, man. You know, like we just saw 2 areas where me buying this move extended resulted into a bit of a pullback. And in this situation, it got to 5, and what did it do? False breakout. So it's the 3rd time we're extended, and then there's a big drop. So I bought here again at 5. What's gonna happen? 80. So I'm guessing the pullback might have already started here. Jeez Louise, man. See, I mean, this is what's gonna do it to me here. Look at this trade. 3rd time is in a row I'm buying this area and not learning from my mistake quickly on the day. If it's like if you can do a recap as you trade, you can already see, hey, once we're extended close to this whole dollar, there's a drop coming. Just steer clear, be careful, watch out. And I mean, look at this fill. It looks like I bought. Oh, hold up. Okay, this is 40. Hold on. It looks like I bought a dip actually. Okay, I thought I saw 494. This is 449. Okay, I give myself a little bit of slack. So let me go back. I need to see this. 10:03. I need to watch this one because I can't remember how this played out. 10:03 a.m. 10:03. Wait. Don't tell me. Well, what's going on? No. This is what day is this? 5th? Oh, okay. Never mind. I was about to go crazy. Is this it? Yeah, okay. Never mind. I was about to go crazy. I thought I didn't record. Woo! I was about to that was gonna make me upset, to be honest. Okay, 10:03. That would have made me more upset than this red day. Hold up. So this is where I got this really unlucky, like lame fill. So, you know, initially I started off scratch. After coming in right there at 04, we put out the order. And look at the spread right here. I could have marked it in. Hold up. I could have marked it in. Oh my gosh. Well, we had 5 by 12. I mean, you know, what another thing is that I was getting higher fills for a lot of the earlier trades, even like a few days ago, last week, Friday, Thursday. And in this situation, I'm like, all right, we need that fill on the bid. I think I might have mentioned it on the live stream, like, hey, we gotta like use some limit orders here. And so I'm gonna put out a limit order. But right here, I could have quickly tried to mark it in as the spread tightened up. It looks like I'm gonna miss it. Well, it's only for a mere moment, but I mean that attention to detail has to be. Even 5 by 10 is not as bad. Now, I think I wasn't as aggressive to be in higher because we had the low at 95, and I didn't want to get filled at 10, which would then increase my risk to 15 cents versus the lows. But just a little unfortunate there. And you can see how fast they're moving. I mean, just a couple buyers on the tape, and it's back at 24, right? Some more buyers coming in. We're flashing at 30. And so I think right here's where I would have sold half, 500, locking that in. And let's see how the rest does. I still treated the small size like I was in with 1,000 shares, but appropriate increment. But can the 1 minute candle then make the new high at 45? And I think this is where I'm going to look to add and scalp is over this level of 45 if the 1 minute candle can make the new high. Right there, I'm in for break of 45. So I probably would have had about 20, maybe like, I don't know, not that much. Maybe like 2,000 shares if I was holding 500. You guys will sometimes see me a lot of times just holding 500 towards the end of the position. So that was good. It's going to continue up to 88. And I'm going to attempt the break of $6 $5 here. So another couple of cents there. And I'm going to attempt the break of the level right here. So I'm in 86. There's 95, 96. And what's so crazy is that on other days, on a different day, this would have went straight to the halt level. In this area where the pullback worked out so well, short sellers are more than likely, and this is what encouraged me to size up a little bit, is that I thought short sellers was covering, and we would get the push through. This is a great entry if we are gonna go. There's 02, but immediately after 02, there's 90. What's happening? And I see 02. I think it's gonna go this time. I buy 02, and then okay, so let's see this might not have been all bad. Okay, so and I got the fill 02, which I think is pretty fair. And then I stop out. There's 89 by 5. And then I think, did I buy back right here again, thinking it was going to go 80, 81. I mean, look at this, 81 on the bids, then 99 on the ask. I mean, this is what makes it so tricky. And I think because I saw a good couple of trades. Again, I think short sellers should be covering here over the highs. I think this is what's going to get me to get back involved, and then I'm going to get blazed. But I can, looking back at it, it's like it's churning. It didn't go immediately. I need to be careful of a pullback. 45 by 48. I mean, oh my gosh. This is why I'm red too, this right here. You guys are seeing what I'm seeing now on level 2. I mean, did we really get a lot of green on the tape right there? It doesn't seem like it. I'm going to try to buy for 49, 48, which I think I got the fill. And I actually anticipated this dip, I remember. I anticipated this dip. I think I did. Let's see. Hold up. I anticipated this dip. I'm gonna let it go. Or I'll wait for a dip. It's too risky. Oh, it's failing. Oh no, it's struggling at the highs. Over 5. I'm gonna let it go. Or I'll wait for a dip. It's too risky. Talk to me nicely here, NUVO. There's my dip, and I'll get the highest fill as usual. Hey, I can't be mad at that. I cannot be mad at that. Now, what did the 5 minute chart look like at this time? Let me see. Brother. I mean, what did the 5 minute chart look like? Time, what time was this? Yeah, 03. So 03 candle, 55. It was, I think it was this candle here. What was the high? Yeah, 57. So at four, but yeah, I mean, at 40 though, this candlestick would have been looking extremely weak, even on the 5. So this 40 is all the way here. Perhaps it's just so hard to predict. I mean, even I'm in, let's say I get the fill at 49, it does bounce up to 70. I'll give myself I'll sum that one up as, close call. But as I'm studying, these are the things I'm looking for. Like I'm going back through my log, whether I'm here doing a recap or not, and for the trades that I don't remember how they played out, I want to go back and see so I remember and can make adjustments. But right here it's hard. It's a little difficult because I'd have to know what the 5 minute candlestick is looking like. But I also anticipated a dip should happen based off of us not going immediately through the level. I'm buying the dip, but the dip is going to, from my entry point at 59 here, NUVO. From 59 entry, I'm immediately seeing 38. I cut it at 31 by 32 area. So I get the fill at 30, which is me cutting it as quickly as I can. But you can even see right here, it's like if I hold this for 1 second longer, I'd be stopping out at 9. Right? So I got to size down. Man, I can't believe that I'm not green these last 3 days. Or at least it's not been more close. Friday actually made more sense. Friday, at the end of the live stream, I was flat. And then I took that 2K loss in one trade. It really does feel like I'm getting unlucky, believe it or not. Like, there's some close stuff, man. Some close stuff. And then to slap me in the face, from 09, which I just could not have anticipated at this point, especially without a consolidation. This thing just slaps me in the face, man. Backhanded. And says, take this. 67 on the ask. But even going up here, the spreads is kind of big. Man, it had no reason to give this drop if it was going to give this move right here. It had zero reason to give this type of drop. And yeah, the ultimate slap in the face, and an absolutely incredible move going all the way up. I mean, just, and so seeing this, it's like you don't want to chase it. Like, I want to wait for a pullback, but then, the break of 5 that I was just looking for goes all the way to 35, 37, 50. Is the market trying to mock me? This is what I started to think to myself. But this is why I'm never gonna stop being disciplined, because this right here cannot happen all the time. It's impossible. It's only a matter of time before I connect. Like, if this move actually happens where it should have happened, remember I was already in at 404. In theory, should have been with 1,000 shares. It's like I would have captured this entire move, but because it falls breaks out, the dip that I thought should happened under such a difficult context. I was not able to position myself to get back in. The move up a little spready. I thought break of 5 at this point was extended. So I'm gonna catch another loss here, trying to buy this dip once it actually does a false halt. And this is where I'm gonna get, there's 18. I think way too early. Just too early. Too early and too aggressive. That's the first two things. Too early, too aggressive. One, it more than likely needs to dip down more. No, more than likely needs to dip down more. Like, what's the odds 20 is going to really hold? And I'm neglecting the spread right here too. Just not a good. So the moment I'm in, I realize I need to get out. So 26 by 27. If it pulls back some more, I could have given it a shot, but I think this was just a little too early. I think right here would have been a little bit better. Um, but you know, and I didn't even get long right there. I could have been in, and if the red persists, sell. That's a mistake. Like, there's no way I should be making that mistake, man. Too eager. I think that's what it is. Seeing this entire move and just too eager to get in. Like, that's a rookie mistake right there. It's nonsense. So do we actually come down? I can't remember. 84. I tried to buy below the level. It's, you know, a bit of a higher, no, you know, it's a fair fill, whatever. It's a fair fill. I think I'm gonna get back in if we can hold up. There's 70. I'm surprised I didn't take that area. I should have tried for 70. You know, even 95 would have been a good sell right there. Yep, and then it got back over the level. Sloppy. That level was sloppy, man. The 1 minute candle making the new high. How was it gonna do? 502, 515 area. Ay, ay, ay. But right here, though, it's like I'm a bit of like out of sync, out of rhythm because of how everything transpired. But I still sloppy. Where I could have done better, I didn't. You know, still sloppy. This was at now 06. Just unbelievable, man. In at 93, out at 94, at 05. This trade here, I think, should have been avoided. This is a much better trade. And it seems like let's see. I don't know if I sold it too soon. No, no, oh no, it's SGE, actually. Never mind. Let's see, 08. Um, hmm. Did the 1 minute candle make the new high at 24? Did I, you know, this is the only thing I could imagine myself buying for right here. So we had a higher low. Okay, I think that's what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna buy for the 1 minute candle to make the new high over 13, which is gonna work out to be a splendid trade. What's going on with my share size? Oh, okay. I had 3. Okay, I see what's happening. Okay, I sized down. And you know, sometimes this is how it goes, which is fine. So right here, I'm going to go long over 13 area. There was a bit of a spread. I'm in, and I took the gains rather quickly. I think this is one of the areas where I could have held a little longer. I sold that for just like a 15-cent move or less. Or 10 cent, really. I'm in at 15 area. I sell around, yeah, what the heck was I thinking selling so soon? I don't understand what the heck. Why would I sell this so soon? It doesn't make any sense. I could have, you know, especially if I'm not in like 10,000 shares, like there's zero reason to sell this that quickly. What I could have done was sold half if I wanted to sell something. And I'm missing out extra gains here on the ass, 40 cents. Well, let's say 540, 550. Yeah, you know, this is a better, if I can sell the other half here, okay, you know, that's much more fair right up at high of day. And then I can look to get back in over the highs. Selling there is mad, is ludicrous. And then I essentially don't get back in for high of day because I sold so soon. Even here, I could have been more aggressive. Okay, I'm going to try. This is a good fill, 39. Can we get that push through 57? There's 60. I take it at the highs. Okay, fair. But if I see like 65, I need to be back in. I think I'm going to try right there for 39 again. It's not going to work. Resumption on SGE on the other side. I'm missing. Opportunity costing. And right here, I'm trying to give this a chance to get through 70. Or at least let's say I'm watching for it to get through 70. And I think over 60 is where I'm looking for the higher side. See, this is not a good trade, considering that we know we just saw 39. You know, why am I buying 50 so aggressively? Why not wait for more confirmation here? Exactly. Like, exactly. Just, how does it play out? Okay, it looks like I skipped ahead too much. Bro, like that loss is so avoidable, man. All right. What time? Where am I at? 10:06. I'm gonna continue this later and finish it off for myself. I gotta go to 10:50. All right. I've shown you guys a good chunk of how I traded. You can see a lot of good things, but still on my side, some sloppy things, some sloppy areas. Like I need to take all the best trades and avoid those nonsense trades. Like just you know, I need to trade to the best of my abilities to give myself a chance. Not those nonsense areas. Like, come on. But in situations where like we saw that bigger red candle, I think that's much more fair. But gotta avoid those middleman nonsense trades and give myself a better chance. But yeah, at that point I was down, 900 on TCBP, red 355 on UNVO. What's gonna happen to me is that I'm gonna catch the move going up and then get caught in a big flush. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Maybe I can show that flush if we come down to like 09. I think it's like right around this area. Let's see. So caught a good move. Let's see. I think this was the trade we could have avoided. We're back in. This is where we should have been buying instead of this nonsense. Good, back in. So and so again, like the trade over 40, right? It's not that I can't do this, right? Like the trade over 40 where I sold the entire thing quickly, like what type of nonsense was that? Where right here it's the same type of breakout. You see me selling half at 40, half at 92. It's the same 1,000 shares, same type of trade. I have no idea why I sold that trade so soon, man. Like I needed to just give that thing a chance. Extra 10, 15 cents. Guaranteed. Another second or two. But after the sweet move up, the sweet move, and remind you, because I'm already having a hard time, I'm doing this on reduced share size. Some of my better trades on luckily coming with reduced share size, so they're not having the impact that they would have had otherwise. I mean, right here, if I'm in here with 2,500 shares, this in itself is like 1,500, but it's part of my risk management system, so I'm not upset about that. But I'm gonna get caught somewhere. I got caught somewhere in at 84, in at 03, and you can see right here, I missed a big move between 6 and 675. No entry came. I mean, even from 84 to 6, I missed 84 to 6. So I did well here. Missed 84 to 6, missed 6 to 670. That's already $1 share that I missed somehow. When I come back, I gotta watch that stuff. So I'm gonna be out of here though. I'm gonna be out of here. There's a loss somewhere that came that just destroyed me, really. I think right here. Hold up. Somewhere. Right here. Well, yeah. Yep. In at 7:15, out at 6:45. Obliterated. Guys, that's gonna do it. I'll be back. At this point, I think I was down 1K on this thing after getting green. And at that point, down like 2K on the day. But yeah, I'm gonna shut it down here. It's a 44-minute recap. I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe, stay green. This probably will not come out until like 8 p.m. Because some days YouTube, this will be processed in 5 minutes. Other days it takes 2 hours. We'll see how long it takes. Until then, stay safe, stay green. Tomorrow again, 9:30 a.m. bright and early.